Good evening, everybody. Today we are having a session where Pooja will be explaining to us how to build a resume and what are the aspects to be considered and what to be written on the top of the resume and what in the middle and what at the end and how your resume will go through the procedures of selection and what are the platforms available for building your resume. There will be only few things because we have been through a lot many platforms where people stress a lot and they really confuse resume building procedures and lot many elements. And when it comes to the selection procedures, there are few things where ATS or the HRs will actually pinpoint and look for. Those aspects will be stressed and highlighted here because the rest of the things doesn't matter. What matters is what profile you're applying and what kind of things you're mentioning required to the profile. Those are the main aspects. And Pooja will be discussing those things now with us. And if you guys face any problem, issues, or have got any doubts, please ask her and clarify during the session itself. Let's not wait for the end of the session to ask questions. I want you guys to ask during the session. This session will be concluded within 30 to 35 minutes so that things can be kept short and sweet. And I urge you to come forward with your complicated doubts so that they can be cleared. Are we good to go? Pooja, over to you.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I would like to share my screen because resume is all about seeing things and doing it. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, hello, everybody. Welcome to the resume building session using Overleaf. I'm Pooja and I will be training you through the session. First and foremost, let's see what is a resume. Okay. Uh, yes, why it is important as well. What exactly is a resume? It's a summary of who you are. If it's a one-page resume, it is a one-page summary of who you are. If it is a 2 to 3 page, then a 2 to 3 page summary of who you are, which is usually followed in the industry. If you talk about the academia, it goes anywhere between 5 to 7 pages. So with this one page or 3 or 7 pages, a person will come to know who you are in your professional life and very few details about your personal life as well. So that why it is important? Because as I already mentioned, it is the first impression and it is something what makes you give you an entry pass to the interviews. If you are aware, many companies don't hold just one single round of interview, they hold multiple rounds of interviews. So if you have to clear through or get through all of them, your resume is like your entry ticket. And coming to some statistics, any recruiter usually spends about 6 to 7 seconds maximum on a resume, and they see 75% of the resume poorly written. Major cause of poorly written resume, that is the structure. It is not structured, it is chaotic. And another reason why they decide not to spend much time on reading the resume is the resume is not clear. It should be as sharp as a sword. Once you keep it as once you tailor it to be that sharp, then be sure that you have crossed through the recruiter's mind and you're already in their discussion board to schedule an interview for you. So a well-crafted resume can definitely open doors to many interviews and is the first thing that will always reach a recruiter even before your skills are being assessed. So there are two major kinds of resumes if we have to broadly classify it, or the most common two types. One is the industry, the other is the academia. Industry is for the corporates, even the government sectors. If you're opting the corporate level projects and you're taking up those roles, then yes, the industry resume. Academic resumes, where you either apply to a university as a student or you apply to an institute as a faculty, as a teaching assistant, or anything like that, then that comes under academic resume. You have, apart from that, few other types. For example, the designer resume, which goes way different from what we're going to discuss. But yes, such kind of resumes also exist. So different types of resumes are based on the purpose of creating or based on the purpose of making a resume or building a resume. One common mistake that people make is calling it as resume. It is not resume, it is resume. Yes, the E needs to be pronounced additionally as resume because resume in English has a different meaning, such as you have stopped something and you want to continue it from where it has stopped. It is called resume. Resume the program or resume the event or anything like that. So resume is what is what we refer to as something that talks about your profile or that gives a summary about you. And in the academia, a lot of times the resumes are not called as resumes, they're called as CVs, curriculum vitae. So in general, what should we include in a resume? Definitely contact information that includes name, phone number, email, and other LinkedIn profile. That is optional, definitely, but it's always good to add one because it will show your credibility. And yes, if you're applying for certain roles like tech-based roles, then we suggest include a GitHub repo link. GitHub repository is available, so include the link of that where you're pushing all your projects there. Or at least if you are in a state where probably you've done some internship in some government sectors or laboratories or things like that, and you cannot share the code, then at least create a blog where describing the title, what you have done, and the results of it, and share the blog link at least. So people come to know what you have done so that you don't have to additionally explain it in your resume because for beginner or early career we always suggest a one page resume. So one page is a very limited space, so in case you want to brief it up, cut short, and all the briefings can be given in a link. The next thing you need to include is work experience, either the previous jobs and responsibilities or internships or things like that. Maybe virtual internships, maybe some trainings. If you're a fresher, then in those cases, trainings which come as internship, all of those. And what you have to describe it in three major factors. One is what were you asked to do? What did you do? And what result or impact it brought? So that is what I've mentioned here as jobs, responsibilities, and achievements. These 3 points for every work experience or every project that you have. Okay, that has to come in there. So followed by that, you will have your skill set. Your skill set, both your core skills and the soft skills. Both should be mentioned. And please remember that you might have skills from multiple domains. Okay, you might, for example, if you take a tech role, a tech-based role, you might be good with full stack development. You might also be good with network-based roles. So in that case, please tailor your resumes to the job. Always and always ensure that the resumes are tailor made. You need to see what the job description says, what are the roles and responsibilities they've asked for, and based on that, what skills I need to add, be it the core skills or the soft skills. And the next thing is certifications and trainings. So yes, this plays a major role, especially for freshers. Okay, freshers, it's a mandate that you include a couple of industry standard trainings and certifications. And when we talk about somebody who's already experienced, then few will not be sufficient. You may have to create a blog link or probably in the GitHub repo create a separate file or a folder where you include all your certificates and attach a link. All right, so please mention and attach the links to the same. Try to condense everything in one folder and attach one link for certificates, or even better, if you can have all your projects and other things stored, including the certifications in organized in different folders, and the entire thing as one single link mentioned at the top of your resume, that should definitely give you a good boost. So they can go and verify what you have done and from who has provided the training and the certification and what was your score and such other details. Yes, professional summary or objective. The brief of what you want to do, okay, or what you want to become, or what you are aiming for. That is professional summary or objective. Please ensure it does not go beyond one line. It should just be one statement. And that's it. That's all that you have to provide for a professional summary. For a beginner, yes, it is what roles you are looking for or what you want to do or what you want to become. Do not mention it as I want to become a network engineer. Please mention it as looking for the role of a network engineer. Okay, please make it very professional, which is why the name says professional summary. And for experienced candidates, your current designation followed by the reverse chronological order of all the previous designations you have held. Say you have held somewhere about 5 to 7 designations previously, please cut down the initial ones. Please keep only the ones which are prominent or which showcase your skills in a really better manner. Then we have education that includes your degrees and relevant courseworks that you have done. Followed by that will be projects and achievements. I'm sorry, the project should have gotten to the work experience section. It is rewards and achievements that has to come here. So this talks about the results that you have got outside the domain they are looking for. That is a little intro to your personal life. They would like to know, have you would have mentioned your soft skill as leadership qualities, but have you really achieved something? Have you really done something that that says that yes, this person has good leadership qualities, or they proved their leadership qualities in this way? Those things will come into rewards or awards and achievements column. All right. Do's and don'ts. Do's is to use strong action verbs, quantify your achievements. By now, you have already, platforms which can do all of that, but please quantify your achievement as far as possible. Try to give the statistics or the numerical data. Bring the stats, bring it in percentages. If you could bring a 75% improvement in a particular sector. For example, the method, say it was a sales executive job that you're applying for, and previously also you worked as an early career in sales executive. So in the sales department, the method they were following was something, and that was giving somewhere about 80% result, for example. And you felt you should have made some changes, and you discussed that with your higher ups, and you brought in those changes, and that resulted in an increase of 10% more. So, which was previously 80%, now it has become 90%. The sales could improve. So, that measure you're supposed to give that showcases your qualities like leadership quality or communication skills. Your soft skills are measured there, as well as your technical skills or core skills are also measured because of the work that you did and what impact it brought. The world is becoming more result oriented. So please make sure that you are quantifying it. A lot of people don't do it. Please do it. And tailor to job description. As I told already, you might have your skill set in multiple roles. For whichever role that you're applying for, please don't use a common skill set. Please tailor make it every time. Even if you've done projects in multiple domains or multiple roles, please include only those projects that that are a good fit for that particular role that you're applying for. It should all go hand in hand, or it should align. The job description, your professional summary, your skill set, and the projects or work experience that you've had should align. Only then the companies feel that the candidate is a legit candidate to enter into our team or our organization. And the last thing, which many of them don't do, is to proofread carefully. Please go through your resume 5 times, 10 times. I cannot stress enough on the number. How many ever times you can, please do read it. Please share it to somebody whom you can trust and get a proofread done by themselves. Okay, get a proofreading done by them. Please share your resumes to multiple people and ensure that it is all in the right fit. And don'ts. Do not use generic languages or generic statements. So please do not mention that I interned in XYZ company as a software engineer. Please mention your skills or in which role. Did you intern in the front end or back end or database, or were you interning as a cloud engineer? What exactly did you do? They do not know. So please avoid using generic language. Make it very specific, and always the specification should be tailor made to the job description. And grammatical errors. Grammatical errors is one reason why even ATS can reject the resume. So please make sure that you're having some tools. There are a lot of tools already available. You have LLMs which can do the job. So please make sure that the grammar is correct. And adding irrelevant information. As I told you, Do not include things that are, even if they ask your hobbies, okay, let's say you're filling out an online application for the job, and even over there, if they're asking for hobbies, try to include hobbies which can build a transferable skill. What do you mean by transferable skill? Skills that are not specific to any particular domain or any particular field or role. It's always good to have them. For example, adaptability is a transferable skill. Being resilient is a transferable skill. So such kind of skills, okay, or a quick learner, fast learner, make sure that these kind of skills are included in, or you're having hobbies which bring out these kind of skills. Okay, and please include those in your hobby section. Do not include the ones which make no sense, because if they're asking you for a technical recruitment or for a particular job and they're asking you for your hobbies, the simple reason is to know, are you really such a person? Have you inculcated those habits within you? Or are you just here to bluff around and just waste the time? That is what they want to know. And making exaggerations, never exaggerate or never even put down the work that you've done. Please keep it in a very balanced and neutral tone. Never exaggerate it and never undermine it either. Okay, that balance has to be there. And there is a very fine line between, exaggerating it, not exaggerating it, and not undermining it. Please go through multiple such examples that you can find around you and understand to what extent what can be put. And yes, for beginners, definitely we suggest highlight your skills, your potential, and certifications and your project works. For experienced candidates, what we suggest is to include your past experiences, your learning from the past experiences, and what all roles and what all management skills that you've had, or what all things you've done in the past experience, in your experiences so far. And a very generic statement is to tailor your resume to each job and use quantifiers. Yes, now let's move to building a resume. So now we've seen what a resume should have, what it should not have, the do's and don'ts, best practices. Now let's see how to build one or how to make one. So one such platform is Overleaf. Why Overleaf? One thing, it is cloud-based, so it's accessible from anywhere. So let's say you've made your resume, okay, you've built it, but you went to another place and you had to make a change. You always have your phone with you. If it's available online, it's accessible anywhere. You can always make that edit and get the things done quick, right? You don't have to stall the process for long. And collaboration or real-time teamwork. Say if you want to share it to somebody whom you can trust and they're ready to help you with the corrections or make changes, then definitely this collaboration will work. Version control. Version control is a gift or a boon to anybody who's working with anything that is system oriented. There are a lot of times we make some change and we think, oh, we made a mistake, we would like to go back. So if you do not have a version control, that becomes hard. So these are some of the advantages that Overleaf provides. And another thing about Overleaf, it is free and paid. You have both options. And yeah, well, I do agree that the paid version can definitely have much more better features. I don't say no. But free version is sufficiently good, at least for now. That's doing a sufficiently a good job. Yeah, so how to build a resume on Overleaf? Oh, I'm sorry that, yeah. First is to create an account in Overleaf. You can just type Overleaf and this is their logo and this is the website, overleaf.com. So you can create your profile. Okay, you create an account. Once you create an account, you can start working on a project. So before we move to a new project, let me start with an existing project. Yes. So Overleaf is majorly a code-based editor, but you also have a visual editor. So just in case you find it very difficult to manage the code version, you can always use the visual editor and make the changes. Each time you make a change here, basic thing is there is a recompile button available. Only when you click on it, the changes will be reflected. So let me explain basic part of the code. We'll not dive deep, but we'll just go through it. So first part is the documentation setup that is available here. So yes, the document class A4 paper and 10 points article. So what does this line mean? It is to define that this particular thing is a document type of project we are going to do, and it is an article that we are going to make. And the paper size should be A4 because every resume gets printed on an A4 sheet, and they expect an A4 sheet itself for that. And the font size 10 pt refers to font size, and 10 points is usually the standard for professional documents. Please avoid going anything below 10 points. You can keep everything on an average between 10 to 12 points depending on your resume. So think about while you're building your resume, never keep it empty, never make it look blank. If it is looking blank, try to fill in with all the details that it requires. If it's looking blank, then you can increase the size from 10 points to 12 points, 11 points or 12 points, depending on how it looks or how the good fit is for your resume. And we have something called as importing few packages for certain purposes. So yes, use package is the code, or that is what is used to get the packages into this document. And after that, what you use is geometry. Geometry refers to margins. So the margin, you have the specification for that: left, right, top, and bottom, each of 1 inch. This is just a template. You can keep it between 0.5 inches to 1 inches. Ensure that the spacing is even everywhere. Even let's say you feel you have a huge content to put into your document in your resume, then you can either adjust the right and left to be one size of margin and the top and bottom to have another size of margin, but make sure it is not varying too much. As I told, anywhere between 0.5 to 1 inch should do, and please keep it even, please keep it symmetrical because it's easier for human to read it. And we have a package for styling purposes. So one is Xcolor that is used to bring the colors, this one's changes into your document. Then you have for section titles, you have title sec. And to manage the list, that is to use it as bullet points, you have enum item. Enum item, that is what it is called. And yes, you get to define custom colors. So it is done by using define color code, and you put the color that you want, and you can specify the RGB values. You can just go to online color RGB value finder, things like that. You have any number of platforms which will tell you, with you get to choose the color that you want, and for that particular color that you've chosen, what are the RGB values, you will get it. So it's available plenty online. You can check it out. We will not be dealing with that today. And you have, yes, a section called as header. This section is your header section. Okay. So that is where your name, your job title, or your career field, your email, your phone number, and such contact information is put up. That is what we call as a header section. So yes, what does this line of code mean? You have title format, that is formatting for the section titles. You have the section large. So one thing that Overleaf provides is for anything. If you notice, we started off with 10 pt or 10 points. So in each of these values, you get three more: large, medium, and small. So here, since we want the name to be the highlight, we're using large. BF series will turn it into bold. Okay, BF series, anywhere you see B, remember it is bold. Okay, BF series, color, the dark blue color which we refer to, and these parentheses that we are, the curly braces that we are referring to here, it means there is no other additional formatting. These are nothing but the basic formatting that comes, and there is no additional formatting given. 0 EM, that is no extra spacing given. And the last set of curly braces, it is, what is it? Again, it refers to the same additional formatting. So there is no other additional formatting or anything. And you have a horizontal line. A horizontal line can be put by using this title rule. These lines that you're seeing here, it is put using this title rule. And you have this begin document. This is mandate in any Overleaf code. So this tells that your actual document begins from here. So if you notice here, we only gave the customization. we have not included the name and other details. So where the document begins, it is from there that we include all of these. So we begin the header and center. Center refers to the center alignment. And you again have huge, that is large, and text BF. As I told you, wherever BF comes, it is for bold. So it will turn this text into bold, this one to highlight your name, and 5 points. So 5 points space. That's the spacing given here. And you have other details such as job title and email and so on. And you end it. So where you begin and end, this becomes one section. That is, this much is one section. Okay. Then you have a H rule. H rule is also for horizontal line for separation. And V space. V space refers to vertical space, the downward space. The next section, that is for professional summary. Again, same things as discussed. And yeah, these refer to the section title. The section title, where have we given the formatting? Right here. Section header, this is the formatting that is followed. And yeah, this is where I would like to bring your attention to. One is H-fill. H-fill refers to right alignment. So whatever comes, before H-fill, that will be put into right alignment. It will all be brought into right alignment. And you have this double backward slashes that will force a line break. It will give a deliberate line break. It will take whatever comes after that will be taken to the next line. And to create bullet points, again, you use the begin command, and inside that you put itemize. Okay, this, and for each and every bullet point that you want it to appear, you put backslash item. So this command will turn each of these lines into a bullet points with these small circles as the bullets. We always suggest to put it in these small circles because complicated bulleting doesn't look professional. We suggest to keep it minimalistic and professional because ATS will scan most of the time. And yeah, I think the next is the same. Yeah, for two job titles for two different companies that you've experience that you've had, it is given. Then you have the education section, again, same things. Uh, yeah, skill section, again, the same. Project and achievement, again, the same thing. Yes, then training, certification and training, again, you have the same thing. Yes. And with that, this end document represents end of the document, and that is where this end comes in. All right, so the entire document starts with the begin of document, and where does it end? It ends with end document. Where is it? Yes. And let's say you would like to add, there's something called as commenting. You would like to add something only for your reference, but you don't want it to appear here in your actual resume. That is called comments. So how do you add comments in Overleaf? By using this percentage symbol. So anywhere you add a percentage symbol, it turns that particular line into a comment. Right. So yes, in case the code editor is too much, you always have a visual editor. And yes, another thing I would like to tell about Overleaf, you have templates. You have pre-built, okay, sorry for that. You have pre-built templates. Yeah. In various categories. And let me tell you, Overleaf is not used only for resume building. A lot of people use it for writing articles, journal papers, research papers, and whatnot. As you can see, there are journal articles, bibliographies, books, and so on. So you have a section CVs and resume. You can click on it, you get multiple types, multiple styles, and you can choose one which is the best fit for your thing. So again, a professional resume, you can find two major kinds again, as I told. One is this single column resume. The other is like this, the double column resume. As of now, what is trending is single column resume, but double column also exists. Why we prefer single column resume is it looks very neat, it looks neat, clean, and it is very much easier for the ATS to read. And you need to include certain keywords that match or align with the job description and skills and things that they're asking for. So all of that, I think, and couple of such resume templates which can be edited, these code and things, we will provide it to you in the description as a document. You can always come back and reference. We will also give you a couple of guidelines, best practices, do's and don'ts, a little bit of customization of guidelines and do's and don'ts. If you're a beginner, if you're an experienced candidate, if you're writing it for an industry or if you're writing it for academia, so all of those things we will provide. Due to shortage of time, we will not be able to go in depth. So those additional details will definitely be provided to you in the description of the video. And yes, as far as possible, avoid using your photographs because that is a security concern. Photograph is a private thing to is a it's a private thing, digitally private thing to any person. So please be very careful because when you are sharing or you're uploading your resume, it goes to the SharePoint or the database of the company where multiple teams of the company, or if it is a parent company, then their sub companies can also come and reference to the same database, or also called as SharePoint, and they pick up as and when they have recruitment drives going on or vacancies to be filled, they come and pick up the resumes from there. So that at that time it's a security concern. So kindly avoid using your photographs. If it is a design oriented role and things like that, then yes, your photograph also matters because there they're seeing the designing aspect. Even your resume moves away from this professional to a more designer kind of resume where you've got to showcase your designing skills. So, based on the role that you're applying for, make sure to include or not include your photograph and kindly avoid this day in my life, pie chart, and things like these, which a recruiter literally has no time to look into because day in, day out, they are looking to various statistics, various kinds of charts, meetings, and they do not have the patience to look into another chart in the resume. So please avoid that. And the language proficiency, these symbols, avoid it if you are applying in industries or corporates. If you're applying for language oriented roles, then yes, this works. If otherwise, if you're using an academic CV, then yes, this holds good. And please remember that each of these has a meaning. It represents certain level, okay, of having learned that particular language or certain level of proficiency in that language. So please find out on the internet. You have multiple sources which can tell you on what each of these mean and what can be the best fit if you are applying for something similar. And another thing about academic resumes, please make sure you're listing out your journals, your publications, your conferences. A key factor which was missed previously because of the generalization of the PowerPoint. But yes, journal articles, research papers, publications, and conferences. And in the conference, what was your role? Were you there to publish your paper or your article? Or were you invited as a guest speaker or as a subject matter expert? What was your role in that and what did you do or what did you contribute? That also needs to be included in your conference column. And as far as possible, keep it neat, keep it minimalistic, avoid using multiple colors. Okay, maximum 2 to 3 colors that includes the background. So we suggest at that point to keep the background white. This kind of resume easily gets rejected by the ATS. Avoid it because, as you can see clearly, there are multiple colors. And yes, there are a couple of font sizes, and font colors which the ATS will track. So, and based on human readability also, I've kept certain, the list will be provided to you in the description. We'll provide everything as one single document. You can definitely go and check it out. Please make sure you're using those kind of colors. Colors such as bright red and bold shades of red and things like that. Please do not use in both ways in terms of ATS, also in the viewpoint of a human reader. It's it's not very nice thing to see such kind of colors. Keep pleasant colors and avoid pastel colors if you are sure that the resume is going to go into an ATS thing. And even if a human is reading it, please try to avoid pastel colors because they turn out to be very light and the readability factor will be very low. It will not be legible. So that will cause another problem, another drawback. So please avoid that. So yes, this is a more, one such perfect resume for a corporate, if we are talking about, except for this tile of skills. Please don't use this. It is not required. If you have achieved a certain level or some sort of proficiency in a particular skill, you can mention the name of the skill in within the brackets. You can mention that proficiency that you've attained. Yes. And these kind of symbols, please avoid heart and broken heart, or I don't know what to call medical heart or whatever. Please avoid all of them. That is not required. You want to make a professional impression to the recruiter and not a personal impression. So I think flirting can be kept outside the resume if at all you have an interest in it. Yeah, so with that, I think we covered most of what we had to do with overleaf. Yeah, I think PPT time. So back to PPT. So yes, once you finish creating your resume, you can download it as a PDF form. Always we suggest to download it in PDF in a PDF form and share it in a PDF form because it is not easily editable. Okay, so always try to keep it in a PDF form. So your resume is rest assured that the content that you have put is what you have put. It does not get changed so easily, unlike if you're putting it in a doc format or a Word format or things like that. Yeah. And to wrap up, always make sure that you're tailoring your resume to the role or the job description that is given. Please customize it and quantify your achievements, your impact. You have made an impact, not to just keep it, locked in a treasure box. You have made an impact to showcase it to the world, and resume is the best place to showcase it. So please showcase your impact or results and proofread carefully. Please ensure there are no errors. I don't say double check, triple check, how many ever times you want to check. Please, the more the better. Please check it multiple times because even one small mistake can sometimes keep the recruiter, an angry recruiter, keeping you out of the role. So try to avoid that. And yes, the last point, use Overleaf because you can create polished resumes, right? And the session was all about that on using Overleaf. Any questions?
Ma'am, I have a question. So at the beginning of the uh, class, you have told me we can also add our personal informations at a level.
Yes. Yes.
So how much can we put it?
It all depends on the role. As I mentioned previously, if they've mentioned the hobby section or in your resume, you are mentioning a hobby section. Why do you think they would want it there? When the job role is something else, probably a business oriented role or commerce oriented role, or probably analysis oriented role, or maybe even a tech oriented role. Why do you think they want your hobbies there? To see your transferable skills. So you that is part of your professional, I mean personal life, and they want to see as a person, have you inculcated those habits within you? Or is it that you're just coming with a little bit of, you're just bluffing around or faking up the things? So make sure that even though it is a personal detail that you're including, it should hold a professional value. It should hold a professional value. So it's only that
Okay.
much that you can share. Avoid personal details such as age, such as what is that, marital status, yeah, you can put your pronouns, but again, we suggest avoid that, avoid using pronouns. Including pronouns. You can, in the interview, when they ask, or you can tell that you're comfortable with so and so as your pronouns. So avoid mentioning it in your resume, and your date of birth needs to be mentioned because they would like to calculate, some companies are very strict. They want no backlogs or no career gaps or no breaks or no academic breaks. So those kind of things they will want a proof. So they will want you to include your date of birth in the resume, and they will also ask for another additional proof, proof of age proof, such as probably your Aadhaar card or maybe your certificates or something like that. So that serves as a proof, and make sure that whatever details you're filling in their website, should align with what you're filling in your resume. You can't fill something there and something here. Okay, it should be consistent.
I sincerely thank everybody for joining this session. It has been really wonderful. We had questions, doubts, and things got clear. And I thank Pooja for bringing such a wonderful presentation, and we really got benefited from it. All the details required for the resume building, the templates, or maybe the links will be provided in the video description. Please go there and click on the links available, and you can get to Overleaf or to the resume templates, and you can build your resume according to your need. So thank you and have a good time.